Happy time zones, it's your bird, Haven the Raven, and welcome back to Amalur on Nostalgic, where I go through this game, which I've beaten way too many times in the past, and got me into gaming as a child, and analyze it. Why are you behind a wall? Alright, I have two options here. Technically, I could wait and come back for some of that loot. But I also... Hold up, I thought I altered Nightbot. Oh, Punkozy! Hello, and thank you for the lurk. I could have sworn that I altered Nightbot on that front. I'll fix that later. Only two of those links are actually worth clicking for the potential YouTube alternatives. And those links are Odyssey and Piped. Uh-oh. Come on. Of course. Oh, I know what must have happened. I probably, altered the command and and forgot to alter the timer. Whoops. Give me a second. I'm going to go fix that. Okay, we'll see in 5 or so minutes if, the change stuck. I can hold on to these, but honestly I'm going to be getting Prismere weaponry soon. You can actually use Prismere weapons once you hit level 18. So the reason some of those alternatives have been scrapped as ideas for alternatives is because a couple of them were only apps. Some of them had some text on the home page that made it seem like it was paywalled. And others just did not look consumer friendly, really, unless you already knew what you were doing in regards to coding. Because there were multiple references to hosting an instance, which is not something most people know how to do. That's not really good for me. And one of them, I was stuck trying to create an account in between the create account and finish creating account screen. It would not let me progress. And it wouldn't let me back out either. I closed the window. I'm not going back to that site. It could just be a server error, but it was a pretty serious server error. So we're down to Odyssey and Piped for potential YouTube alternatives. Which Odyssey actually looks quite promising. Piped hasn't loaded for me yet, but We'll see once it actually does. Or if it does. If it refuses to load today too, I'm gonna take it off the list. Okay. Issue fixed. Well, issue with a problem of my own making has been fixed. But more on those at the end of today's stream. Let's just focus on Krunk's Tower for now. For anyone who wasn't here towards the end of last stream, I was working on the Teeth of Naros. I ran around, got all of the lore stones in this area's overworld, and even got a Twist of Fate, which is a permanent buff, just from that exploration. You can get the Trailblazer by finding all 5 of the shrines to all the gods that are hidden in the Teeth of Naros. I've been tasked with clearing out Krunk's Tower because the Colossi are in a war with them at the moment. And the lady who sent us on this quest well and truly believes that Krunk's claims that the Colossi enslaved the Jotun are wrong. They're just complete fabrications. Whether she's correct or not, we'll wait until later. Hi, chest. Moving on. This is not a very long mini dungeon. Actually, dungeons in this game don't tend to be very long. The focus is mostly on the characters. And how they're reacting to plot points. At least with most of this game. Fen, what are you doing? My dog's being suspicious again. I might be able to know. If I had... It would be under abilities. 2 more levels before I can get this. But Smoke Bomb is going to be huge. Alright, let's just get this little fight over with. Nice try. Oh. Thought I was slick and was gonna get behind him. Turns out I am very much not slick. dismiss my skeleton because sneaking can be a pain with the skeleton, even though it tries its hardest. What is it with Jotun and chickens? This isn't the first time we've seen a chicken wandering around a Jotun camp. Okay. Aren't you supposed to be next to your buddy? Oh. That is not what I meant to do. It's fine. Just needed to summon the skelly. Ah! And now I'm going to wail on you with these Fey Blades. And then proceed to absolutely rip open your stomach. Okay. I'd very much like to know what sort of animal this was. Because we see the carcass all over the place, but we never see the animal itself. Kinda creepy. Hello, wolfies. Ah! Good riddance. Let's see if I... There we go. I need you to not be close to the other enemies in this area. Because if you are, you're going to alert them. And I would very much like to get a few more sneak attacks, if you don't mind. Okay, this is what I was thinking of, was aren't you supposed to be next to your friend? Ow. And kaboom. The skeleton doesn't do much, but again, it tries. That's not actually very good. Yeah, I'm not gonna manage that. I'm not even gonna try. Did I kill the chicken on accident? I think I killed the chicken on accident. Oh dear. Come on, get closer to the skeleton. There we go. I'm gonna be going through a loading zone anyway, so you're just going to despawn during that. I think. Full clear of Krunk's Tower in like 20-ish minutes. Not bad. Not bad at all. And it doesn't even matter about primal magic. And because the kobolds are still alive, they're not getting replaced. Technically, you're supposed to use primal magic there. You're not better. Neither are you. You're technically supposed to use primal magic to cut off his healing. But... or simply because if you kill the kobolds, 2 more show up. But I find that Reckoning mode works just as well. One of these days I'll try to actually fight him while following the gimmick. But that day is not today. I'll be honest, despite how it was very bluntly presented to us, my first time playing, I actually didn't understand how primal magic worked. So I wound up using Reckoning mode because he wouldn't take damage any other way. That's a sword. Let's see which of the 2 things Sikandra gives me this time. Because she gives you a different weapon depending on how you beat Karunk. And depending on how you went through that tower. If you used more might, you get like a sword, I think. More finesse, you get daggers. More sorcery, you get a staff.
I had heard. From Remy's, I received word that one such as you entered Karunk's tower with no trepidation, no anxiety. Do I even have to ask? Does the war chief still draw breath? It was said the gods would call their champion. And here you are, bearing the cipher, seeking the Primos. You seem to know your way around short blades. Take mine, as a sign of thanks for ridding these lands of the warlord. May they serve you well. Now my forces can put the rest of the Jotun to the spear beckoned.
Alright, so I got the daggers. I'm gonna exhaust her dialogue, and then I'm gonna tell her to spare the Jotun. You'll see why later.
Before this day, I thought it was just a myth. A lie my people told ourselves to make our sins more bearable. The beckoned is a deliverer. The beckoned speaks for the gods. The beckoned is their messenger, their conduit. What is the beckoned? One who carries the cipher, the icon of the gods. One who faces the troubles of my people without hesitancy. The beckoned is you. With their leader dead, they will likely keep to themselves and lose the will to harry my people as they have. I will wager that they won't suffer incursions into their camp, for good or ill. But still, they have caused my people suffering. Shall we wait and allow them to inevitably rise again? This is our best opportunity to finish them. I owe you much for killing Karunk beckoned, so I will do as you say. I only hope you do not reap bitter fruit from your generosity. Now I will take you to the henge, and then to the Primos, as I promised. The Primos is our ruler, and the most devout of the Colossi. For example, our current Primos, Anakatos, has sequestered himself away from our people in prayer for years. Meanwhile, we are threatened every day, and because of Anakatos' extreme measures, we lack guidance. Be cautious in these lands.
Yeah, I'm
You did it.
not a fan of Avocados. It's Sakandra, can you not go in loop-de-loops? Fen, what are you doing? I don't know what it is that's under the couch that my dog wants so badly, but he wants something.
Here, beckoned. This artifact you see before us is a henge. We use it to transport to the city. It may be uncomfortable at first. I still recall retching after my first journey with it. But it is the only way into the city. I have thought on your decision to spare the Jotun, and how our intolerance exposes our hypocrisy. At first I saw no reason for it. The Jotun are cruel and savage. Then I realized that we Colossi were that way once, until someone gave us a chance.
I like Sakandra.
Be cautious in these lands.
And here we are, Idilla, the floating city. Fun fact, you can actually jump down from that hole. I'm going to save beforehand, but I'm going to show you what happens.
And here you have it, Idilla, our great failing. Now let us go to Anakatos. He may hide from our people's needs, but he will not refuse a visitor sent from Athene. The goddess of wisdom was our patron. Though my people worship all the Titans, they hold Athene as our personal guardian. The gods do not look to us or listen to us. What manner of patron neglects their charge, leaves their wards to the wilderness? We are adrift in these lands, I must admit. We might have been great enough to overcome the burdens, but now we cannot.
And then...
Now that the trouble with the Jotun has been solved, I am free to investigate other threats to my people. And there are many options to choose from. Be cautious in these lands.
I'm going this way. I'm going to be doing any quest possible in Idilla before leaving. There is actually one that I think I might have to come back for after I beat the Teeth of Naros story, but I'd like it to be the only one. So this is an incredibly stupid thing to do, but in the original you got an achievement for it. Let's see if I do now. Yep! You get an achievement! You wouldn't have seen it on your screen, but I saw it on mine. The achievement name is I Regret Nothing. Alright, let's go follow Sakandra.
Mind your step here, beckoned. I wouldn't want the Colossus
Well, thank you for the lurk, Jake Shuffle.
Than it already has. It is not here by choice. Or our choice, anyways. Such questions would be better suited for the Primos. Suffice it to say that this was made in anticipation of something that never occurred. Farewell.
Okay.
You must be the beckoned.
Hold on. I see you. Embarrassing. I'm about to get exploded. Or not. I am more than okay with not.
Beneath these stairs is the sanctuary of the Primos, the leader of the Colossi people in the Teeth of Naros. I must warn you, Anakotos has not left these quarters in years. He vowed to never cease his prayers until the gods answered them. And his people have languished for it. But I think his answer has finally arrived. Speak to him, beckoned. His people have need of him.
Alrighty then.
Is there anything I can say?
Go get some words from Anakotos. I mean, I may as well steal from him. I only come back here once. These would have been great if I was, like, one level lower or something. Or, well, if I was actually level 12. I have no reason to loot these, actually. You're going to stand up as soon as I get close, aren't you? So I can't loot the thing. Yep.
And though the path be fraught with tribulation, know that it leads to the land of our greatness, and that we walk it with you. Such were the words the gods spoke to the progenitor of my race when they sought to guide us from our base origins into a fruition of potential. Words have filled my heart every day of my reign, but now they are embodied. Welcome, beckoned. At last, this city will be complete.
This guy is absolutely insane.
I am the primos of the Colossi people. As I lead them in politics, I lead them in prayer. The messenger of the gods. One summoned to bring the word of faith back to our people. I always assumed that the beckoned would be one of my own kind. But you bear the cipher. Your role cannot be made more clear. The goddess has shepherded my people for generations. She was responsible for the growth of my people. Somehow, we were found unworthy of her. I have prayed to learn why, but her anger must be far too great. This is greater than any city or any temple that you will find in this world. Of that I assure you. The city, though magnificent, is only half completed. The Colossi are the children of the Titans. We are the inheritors of their will, and we are the ones that will shepherd this world into a new age. This land is the crucible by which my people might be forged to their new destiny. Vicious and inhospitable, it rebukes my people's every step. Many are the artifacts strewn throughout this world. But the cipher of Athene, I've seen its outline traced in tomes and scrolls, but never in person. Bearing it makes you an embodiment of her power, beckoned. She sees and hears through you.
It's honestly a shame that this whole situation here didn't get followed up. Like, ever.
Because we are all of us, my whole people, incomplete. Because we are not worthy enough, not deserving enough to see such wonders of the gods. And I thought that failure was a finality. I have prayed to the gods in seclusion in hopes of an answer. But they were as quiet as the silent choir. Now the beckoned is come. With you, the gods can bear witness to us atoning for our inadequacies. We must start at once, beginning with the wreath of absolution. Something no Primos would ever wish to wear. They are only made in times of great need, and we must prove to the gods our devotion.
I have to go with the semi-snarky response.
Were it so easy. There is a proper ritual to observe, and it involves the holy beckoned crafting the wreath of absolution. First, the foundation. It is a circlet of gold inscribed with the runes of prayer. I only wish we had the time to craft one for this occasion, but we do not. Thankfully, there is one made. My predecessor, Arceus, had a wreath crafted, and it lies interred with him beneath the city. Sakandra will guide you to it. He led my people into the times that you see today. The gods did not favor his reign, clearly.
Honestly, the only god that has a say in the makings of the world, well, the only gods, from what I've gathered, would be Lyria and Mitharu.
The Silent Choir is a group of our most faithful followers, and serve me as I serve the gods. So deep is their faith that they never speak upon entering service. The end of this awaits.
I'm honestly surprised that we never meet Lyria, honestly, considering what we do to her tapestry. Fate is her working. And Mitharu is only mentioned, callous bastard. But I'd honestly rather that I don't want to meet Mitharu unless it's to kill him.
You return. Well, the Primos has not graced the ears of his subjects in ages. What has he said to you?
I have to put this bluntly.
What? Arcais was a primos. He was a leader of our people. He was... Anakatos cannot... Would Anakatos have us spit on the graves of all our fallen? Arcais was a primos. Already I am sick of his imposition. I will meet you in the undersewer crypts. We will need to be quick about it. You are the first to hear his voice in some time. I almost thought he would join his acolytes in their silent pact. But his prolonged absence from his people has taken its toll on his judgment. Does the crypt of Arcais have no sanctity to him? I have had chances to speak of Arcais before, but it is not fitting for me to discuss him. Not now. Very well.
I have quests to collect.
You must be the Becky.
Actually, first I'm gonna head to the market. Because the market will allow me to do some stuff.
I can help repair your equipment. Welcome to the
Okay.
market. I hope you enjoy our fair city.
You.
Welcome to Idylla. With my arm.
Okay, it must have been you that had it then.
Potions will...
Backpack. I want the backpack. I'm also going to be buying these because I need them.
will allow you to... My potions cure... For all wounds. All. I can...
Salvage everything.
prepare your...
Items. I'm actually not that bad off.
Welcome to the
Especially because I'm going to be replacing the stuff. Okay, I get these at level access to this at level 15.
Idylla Market back. Mind the city.
Tenten, hello, how you doing? I'm doing pretty normally, thank you for asking. You sound so excited. Glad to hear you're doing great.
Take heed in these lands.
Alright, I cannot wear Dread Scale yet.
Beckoned.
43? Yeah, there's no point in even buying that.
Bury in this land. Beckoned.
Oh, Amalur is going well, thank you. Like I said, this is the game for me. This is what got me into gaming, just in general.
I will be here.
Craft, strengthen. Actually, wait, I should check. Okay, so I can use any quality of gem. Just checking so I didn't strengthen my shards to the point where I could no longer use them. Because I have done that before. That's a lot of clicking going on here because I have a ton of shards and haven't touched sage crafting yet. Whoops. Alright, weapon. Ooh, that's actually huge. I don't want a protection shard or physical. The base game of this story is about finding shoot. I just had it too. I think I actually want to double up on protection. Yep. So essentially with the base game, you woke up and you might not have initially known what was going on. But you woke up from the grave. You were dead. And that was all the way back over here. You can see just how many places I've unlocked so far. So then you make your way around everywhere, trying to stop a war that is about the Winter Court, or radicals of the Winter Court, which they're based here in Alabastra, specifically Bale. But you want to stop, or the aim of the base game is that because of something relating to how you died, you have no fate. So now you are tasked with traveling the playable world until you can make your way into Alabastra and Bale and just stop this war. I, however, took a detour and am currently in the Teeth of Naros, which is a DLC area. I've completed every quest I can complete in Thurs, which is the forests. After the Teeth of Naros, I'll be heading into the Plains of Arethel to complete every quest I can there. And from Arethel, I'll first be setting foot in Melsenshire because that's part of the Arethel questline. But after that, I'll be doing this up here, Gallows End. And then after Gallows End, I'll be heading down into the deserts of Datir. Once I've completed both Arethel and Datir, that will actually unlock Cluricon, and completing Cluricon will unlock Alabastra. Completing Alabastra will unlock Mithros, which is the final DLC. Well, the people of Rathir, which is Rathir and Melsenshire, are Dokalfar, which is Dark Elves. My character is a Loselfar, or Light Elf. If you're going to play this game yourself, start Loselfar or Varani. Those are the best races, honestly. That sounds so bad, but it's true. Well, every single race starts you off with... You can pick with some bonuses that don't really matter much. But what does matter is the skills you start out with. I don't have anything to boost my ice damage, actually. And because of the... Oh, you just got it. Fair enough. But because of the skills that the Varani and the Losalfar start with, they're just the best. Varani start with a level in Detect Hidden, which is the best skill in the game, hands down. And Losalfar start with a level in Dispelling, which is also a really good skill. And one that you wouldn't normally think to put much thought into unless you've played this game before and are looking for secrets. So because of those Detect Hidden and Dispelling levels, the best starting races for this game are Varani and Losalfar. I should make myself a new hood. Trollhide. I want elemental resistance, honestly. Avocado is a pain in the ass. Little worse in terms of... Whoops. That, but... yes, I'm actually making new, armor. I just bought really good weapons that I don't want to dismantle, so I'm not going to make myself new weapons right now. Especially considering that I might wind up making stuff I can't even wear yet. Let's go with the 5% critical hit chance. But this game... Or actually, hang on. So, 670. That's already better than what... just in general. I should actually probably also try to make... a talisman. But the crafting system in this game gets absolutely broken. You will not find better gear than you can make. Just straight up, you will not find better at all. Is that better? Yeah, this is better. However, in the case where you're not sure if you can make something that you're not going to be too low a level for, buying works. I have actually done that before, specifically with armor. I maxed out my blacksmithing skills, so I had really high armor. But I couldn't use it because I didn't have... I was too low a level to have the stats to even wear it.
And it would seem that the deliverer of my people has found me at last. Many honored greetings to you, beckoned. If you would, I have more than pleasantries to discuss. Like many, I seek your prowess. A culling. Though the Colossi are a people of faith, more and more of us are reverting to the savage ways of our ancestors. The lowest of these doubters become marauders, bloodthirsty and violent, capable of nothing but wrath. They must be purged.
I don't think that this is a completable quest, but it'll get me money, so.
I thank you. It is high time we bring their savagery to an end. Each marauder should carry a totem of some sort. Bring those to me as proof of your deeds.
I almost did not see.
Yes, I finished Sekiro. That was last week. So you're not going to see any spoilers on that front. At least so long as you don't go looking through my clips. I have to come back for you. This might be one of those quests that doesn't unlock until later.
Please do not disturb.
Out of 5, I'd rate Sekiro a 4. I loved the game. However, as far as I'm concerned, there exists no such thing as a perfect 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10 game. There's always something that could be improved upon.
I'll convince the guards to let me leave the city. You're only wasting my time. I'm sorry. It just makes you a little crazed, you see. Being locked inside this city like a penned animal. All I want is to leave for a short time to travel to the Warren and check on my wife, Galatea. But I cannot leave. I did not choose to leave her beckoned. I wanted her to come with me. But she can be difficult to move to action sometimes. But I cannot retrieve her now, for I am one of the city's finest masons. The guard are under orders not to let me leave, so I do not die. All I want to know is that she is unharmed. But I've done so well for this city that I am forbidden from departing. Well, you can certainly try, but Galatea is stubborn as stone. Would you truly beckon? That is something. At least I will be certain that she is unharmed. I left her in the ruins of the Warren, the city's old quarry. You should search there for her. Please find my wife.
But the highest rating I will probably ever give a game is 4.99 out of 5, or 9.9 out of 10. I honestly don't think that I've even seen a game that there wasn't anything I could think of to change. Which means that nothing has achieved that rating yet. Let me think. Highest rated, or what game is what I consider to be my highest rated? Huh. Hang on, I'm just trying to go back through every single game I've ever played in my life and think about it. Because I genuinely don't know. I don't tend to rate game or give games a numerical rating unless someone else prompts me to. I'm not going to include this one because this historically has been my favorite game, like, of all time. However, I'm going through and actually criticizing it right now, so I don't want to give it a rating in the middle. Yeah, no game is free from criticism. I'm looking at stuff that I like, that I don't like. I have... I think it's actually a three-way tie for what my highest rating would be. At like a 4.2 to 4.3 range out of 5. And that would go to the entire Dark Souls trilogy. Like, all 3 games, I love them equally. Genuinely love them equally. People are going to come after me for that one, but that's, I think, the best answer I can give right now. I think Baldur's Gate 3 would be slightly below that at like 4.1.
What do you think of our humble academy, chosen one? Could I perhaps convince you to debate one of my prodigies? Surely the Beckoned of Athene would be a worthy lecturer.
Dark Souls 2 is actually the reason I'm saying people are going to come after me for that one. A lot of people say it's either a love it or hate it game. And it gets so much hate. It gets more hate than any of the others that I myself have played. Which is why I'm like, yeah, people are gonna come after me for this one. But I love it as just as much as I love the first game and just as much as I love the third game. My opinion might have been different if I'd played Dark Souls 1 when it first came out, but I actually started... Pardon. The Dark Souls trilogy was Dark Souls 3. So that might have something to do with it, but to me, the 3 games together are what tell the complete story. And so I can't really rate them separately.
I despair that the Lycaos has passed under the awareness of one so blessed. Our academy is the center of conversation for philosophy and theology in Idylla. Would you be opposed to joining us for a dialogue or two? It would be an honor.
This is the most unhinged debate parlor I have ever seen.
The spears, they are for the debate. Wonderful. With the hard times about us, I worry that our long-kept traditions will eventually be lost. School's influence wanes. Your involvement is sure to spark interest in the Lycaos once again. Now, let us begin. In your first debate, you face Thurs, one of my most promising students. Study hard.
This area, or this quest here, gives a lot of background on the Colossi, really, and their culture.
Greetings, Beckett. I take it that Onisimos wishes me to go through with this debate? Very well.
Like, if you could just do the Teeth of Naros main quest, but then you wouldn't really understand the core of Colossi beliefs. You kind of need to do the Lycaos to understand it.
You are? Then, I will begin. I mean, here is the topic of discussion. A torrential storm sweeps a youngling and a full-grown colossi into the flow of a river. A big one. A river, I mean. Now, there is only time to save one. Which should one choose to save?
I mean, I'm saving fools all the time. But we'll go with the child here.
You would choose to spare the potential for strength over the certainty of it. That's a stance few might stand by. Very well. Let us begin the debate. Let us prepare. Go easy on me.
Of the game, no, but some choices actually do hold weight. I wish there was a little more in the way of your choices impacting things, just in general. However, I do understand that, for the most part, this is an action-adventure game. Not really meant to be as big on the choices.
It was a scholarly debate, Beckham. Did you expect something else? And what a fierce riposte you had lying in wait for him. You performed magnificently. Let me know when you are ready for another. You seem quite skilled for one so small. Speak to Sisters. He is eager to debate with you. Study hard.
If you lose any of these debates, the quest immediately fails. So make sure to save after every single one of them. But mostly when it comes to factions specifically, your choices impact the twist of fate you get. They'll also affect NPCs, however, in a lot of cases this doesn't really carry over into anything major. There's only a few times where it does, and I'll be sure to point it out whenever that does happen. I wish that there was more continuity on some of the factions specifically. That I do think was missed potential. But getting different permanent buffs, which that's what the Twists of Fate are, for your choices, is an interesting mechanic in its own right.
Is it my turn to challenge you, Beckand? I am eager to test you, and myself. I am glad. Tell me, what is the most effective display of strength in the following scenario? On a trip across a vast desert, you and a companion encounter a boulder. It is an airborne boulder, and it crushes your friend. He tells you, "Leave me, Beckand. Even were you to lift this boulder from off my battered body, I would be but half a colossi." What would the strong do?
I mean, I could move the boulder. I'm stuck between these two here. Because on the one hand, the Colossi do not have any sort of support for the disabled. And on the other hand, he could potentially live a new life. What does chat think I should do here? Show mercy or remove the boulder? Alright then.
That would be most efficient. Still, I believe one should allow their friend the honor of a natural death. His final moments should be spent like he spent his life, fighting through the pain. Let us begin the debate. Prepare yourself.
We're just coming in here and baffling the Colossi. It gets even funnier if you actually talk to them after the fact.
It would appear that my long hours of study have been beneficial. When I heard I would fight the Beckoned, I thought I might die. Thank you for the debate, Beckoned.
This guy was legitimately afraid for his life. What about you?
Debate's well fought, Beckoned. I had no idea one so small could be so ferocious. I lost consciousness for many moments after you struck me. Goodbye, Beckoned.
They're happy to have been beaten up. Like, Colossi culture is something else.
An absolutely scintillating debate, Beckoned. Sisters didn't stand a chance. Are you ready for another? Find my disciple Zeno when you are. He wishes to challenge you. Speak to Zeno. He wishes to test his intellect against yours. Study hard, Beckoned.
Yeah. Well, obviously they're happier if they win. However, Colossi culture is centered around the idea that might makes right. That strength is given by the gods in order to see the correct ideals through. So, by beating them, you show them, at least from their cultural perspective, that the gods wanted to smack some sense into them.
You are the Beckoned? I wish to challenge you. Sister Synthes are worthy opponents. That you have debated them is impressive indeed. Especially for one so short. You are one of the greatest debaters I have ever seen, Beckoned. I hope I present a worthy challenge. My query for you is simple. What makes a war worth fighting?
As far as I'm concerned, the cause is really the only answer here.
That is a suitable response, if it is subjective. I am of the belief that nothing makes war more worth fighting than a worthy opponent, such as yourself. Prepare yourself for debate. Prepare yourself. Let us support our faith.
Yeah, I'm not messing around with the ones that don't have spears. The ones that don't have spears are a pain. My skeleton kept going.
Yes, Beckoned. I am pleased to serve how I can.
Alright, this guy's a lot more calm than the others. He was a lot calmer than the other two. Or three.
Zeno's argument was hastily prepared drivel next to your well-constructed thesis. Vine, an older disciple, wishes to debate you. Speak to Fine. She is my eldest disciple. Very powerful and wise. A true challenge awaits you. Study hard.
You are much smaller.
This isn't even the most bizarre quest in this game, by the way. There's much worse.
You've defeated many of Master Onisimos' students, Beckoned. I am the oldest, the most powerful. Prepare yourself to face the Master's most gifted student. Excellent. You've done well thus far, but I have another query to test you. Does might make right?
Power and morality are unrelated.
That is an intriguing point, but it runs counter to the core of Colossi values. Our culture hinges on the belief that strength is given by the gods to those with the virtue to wield it. Let us debate the issue. My virtue shall prove that you are wrong. Prepare yourself.
We don't mess around with the unarmed colossi. Uh-oh. Oh, shoot, 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 shoot. And that ice trap is the reason we don't mess around with the unarmed colossi. Good grief with gravy on top. Alright. No, boy. I'm not sure if it was me or the skelly, but either way... Thank you. But if you lose at any point, you fail the quest, so save after every single one of these fights.
Welcome back. Have you been enjoying your debates? Indeed, you have defeated all of my students, Beckon. The issue I posed to you is this, brought to my mind by your overwhelming strength. Can those with absolute power, such as yourself, have courage? If one enters battle with victory all but assured, can one also be called brave?
I'm saving after every single one of these because victory is never assured.
You have proven differently here at the Lycaeus. Very well. Let us debate. Prepare yourself.
Oh, shoot. Oh, no. That almost cost me. Uh-oh. But Z quest failed. I forgot, you're not supposed to actually dodge that, you're supposed to just run from it.
Beckon, welcome back. Indeed, can those with you prepare yourself? I am enthusiastic. Your merit is not saved. Your merit is not saved.
As long as I don't get caught again by that lightning attack, I should be fine. The Colossi do so much damage, it's actually insane. Oh dear. Like, technically you're supposed to come here way later. Thank you. And yes, evidently I do have this.
The Beckoned arrives at
But yeah, Fine and Onisimos are not opponents to take lightly when you come to the debate parlor.
underlying gratitude for participating in our competitions. Please take this as a token of my appreciation. Word of your scintillating lectures is sure to bring attention to our school. Already there are more spectators in the Lycaeus than there have been in years. Your thoughts guard you well in combat. May this talisman offer you similar protection. Study hard.
Like I was saying, you could do the entirety of Idilla's quest line without once setting foot here. I have done that before. I actually didn't find out about the Lycaeus until my second or third playthrough of this DLC specifically. However, you miss out on a huge chunk of Colossi values by doing so. The living quarters might have someone who has a quest for me. And I do genuinely mean you miss out on a huge chunk. Because, as Fine said, that is the core of their values. It's why the Primos is their most powerful.
Beckoned? It seems my preconceptions were off. But I still need your divine aid. The plague spreads.
Oh yeah, it definitely makes replays more fun. However, I think that the Lycaeus specifically should have been part of Idilla's main quest, or the Teeth of Naros main quest. Yeah. However, Idilla's main quest centers on how the gods have evidently abandoned them, and they were not favored. The Lycaeus reveals that the Colossi may see themselves as too weak because of this. Like, too weak to have the gods' favor, too weak to be correct. That is a huge cultural impact that sort of reshapes the entire Teeth of Naros questline. So I think that context should have been part of that main quest line.
I have worked on this city for all my lifetime. The sewers that run below it are my masterpiece. But this work of art is besmirched by rats. These foul vermin run rampant in my catacombs, tainting it with their fetid presence. Try as I might, I cannot best the scourge. But you beckoned. Your divine intervention is needed.
Time for one of my favorite lines of dialogue in this game just because of how absurd it is. I question divine intervention against rats?
I have never known beasts with such low cunning and high birth rates. They are fearless as they are disgusting.
I don't know why I love that line, I just do. Yeah, some of the dialogue in this game is amazing.
I have pinpointed a much-traveled route used by the rats and seeded it with traps that can be activated on command. Find the levers that activate those traps. They've been placed on a ledge overlooking the route. When you see the rats pass below, simply pull the levers as they approach the traps. Slay the filthy vermin.
I mean, it is very accurate to describe the rats, honestly.
Be careful here.
The rats are dumb, but they really do reproduce very quickly.
The famed beckoned comes to me at last. Admittedly, my request might be the smallest you will hear, but I wish to voice it nonetheless. To preserve the past. All around us is the great chisel and hammer of progress, keen on dragging my people towards enlightenment. But such progress means nothing without context. I wish for someone who can find artifacts of my ancestors, reminders of our simpler times. Very good. I'll reward you for any artifacts you can find, but larger artifacts will do well for both of us. I await your findings.
I'm not sure if this quest can actually be completed, but I'll try anyway. And I think that's every quest I can obtain in Idylla right now. I don't know why I love that line of dialogue so much, but it had me giggling when I was tiny. It is definitely a solid burn. Almost every NPC has entire list of dialogue you can go down. Ooh. I mean, I'm not going to use that, but ooh. And some of the lines can actually be quite funny. Alright, that's a henge. Heirlooms, marauder totems. I should okay, we're using the henge. Because I don't want to do the Secondra bit just yet. I want to do that like right as I'm about to leave. Okay, redeeming a joke. I forgot about the fish feeder. So what's to joke about? I'm so sorry, my brain is coming up completely blank here. Guess the Lycaos took all of my mental energy. Nah, I owe you a joke later. I owe you a joke later. Yes, the pinnacle of magical prowess. Dancing in front of some hawks that are paying you absolutely no mind at all. Alright, here's the level. Levers. Bleh. Let's hope that I can kill enough rats that they don't rat on me for for doing a poor job later. Ah, one escaped. When possible, you want to try and get them with the spike trap. Just because it's the easiest to time. Two rats got away. Looks like I'm going to be ratted out for doing a poor job. Does the pun count as a good enough joke, Tenten? Or should I keep workshopping it? Why, thank you. Is it down or up? Down. Okay, who left their hammer down here? Ah, sprites. Okay, that explains a lot. You need to go away so the others lose their teleporting ability. Did you forget I was there? I think that one forgot I was there. Alright, so that means there's actually marauders up here. Possibly? I went too far up. Yeah, no joke. Like you forget. Even worse when I'm a rogue. So this game does not have a typical warrior rogue, or doesn't have a typical leveling system. You put your points into abilities that you want, and then you get a destiny which buffs your playstyle. I'm a warlock, which means that I have both aspects of rogue and mage abilities. Turning your back on me is a huge mistake. Because I can sneak attack. Yes, any artwork on my channel I try to do myself. My emotes are also hand-drawn by yours truly. Why did I use fire against a flame champion? Thank you. Yeah, I don't have the money to hire a actual artist, and I didn't want to just take pictures from the internet, so I made my own. Like, especially with all that's going down with AI, stealing people's work and putting it places. I didn't want to accidentally contribute to that. Ah. Okay. In that case, I go this way. There are worse things out there than AI art, but yeah, especially even with AI being, well, AI. But it is theft in a lot of cases, just outright. Soulless theft at that. If you're going to thief, at least have a soul about it. Like, come on. Professionals have standards is a saying for a reason. I genuinely don't get it. You can create your own art style, even if it's not one that a lot of people would consider to be a good one, very easily. And if you want to polish it for other people's viewing, guess what? You just have to put in a little effort. But people are allergic to effort these days. Hold up, didn't I come from over here? Huh. Hi, Primal Champion. Why are you just wandering around with her sprites? Ma'am?
When we came to this land, I thought it was
Okay then. Like, it's one thing if you, like, literally cannot move. Hold on, that was Dreadscale. Like, if you genuinely can't move your hand, that's one thing. But if the reason you aren't willing to put effort into something is simply because it's easier to steal it, that's just messed up. 2 Primal Champions. What? Sprites are honestly a very interesting enemy variant, or enemy in... Something that I think this game did well is its enemy variants. While the enemies can get a little repetitive, and that is a genuine mark against it, they have mechanics, they're meant to work with each other. At least for the most part. Why are there Pteryxes surrounding the troll? Okay, we're just gonna... This is a level of bullshit I did not sign up for. Well, pardon? There was a fly. I am so sorry for your eardrums. I did not realize that the stupid thing was going to be in front of some Pteryxes. Trolls are dangerous because they do a ton of damage, take a ton of damage, and are resistant to almost everything. I'm not even joking. If you're using elemental damage against a troll, it's probably resistant to it. So for a troll to be surrounded by enemies, it's a little scary. Especially when those enemies are as annoying as a Pteryx. But as I was saying, something I think this game did well is the way it handles enemy variants. In at least the base game, enemies can get very repetitive. However, they behave differently around other enemies. Mergen will act differently around Banshane than they will if it's just a few Mergen. Sprite champions outright give sprites other abilities. A thrush makes the presence of boggart, or a thrush or a craddock makes the presence of boggarts or brownies all the more deadly. That sort of thing. Oh, fair enough, fair enough. Have an excellent day, 1010. And thank you for stopping in. That's okay. I do think that the enemies are a little repetitive, though. But that might just be a game size issue. All larger games, or well, maybe not all, but most, tends to have a similar issue in that case, in that enemies, they're going to get a little repetitive because there's just so many of them. At least the developers of this game took the time to spice that up. By having them behave differently depending on what they are or what the enemy is encountered alongside. What? Why was I bald? My skelly made me bald. Take that out of context. Okay, I'm going to get... I know I'm going to get ambushed somewhere around here. Hi! You're dead. Oh dear. Oh, dearie me. Why are you dropping studded leather? The Marauder Totem is a Pteryx foot? Where did you come from? Get over here. I'm just gonna let my skeleton handle that. Eh. Oh, come on. Thank you. It's hilarious because despite the fact that you can enter this one first, the Teeth of Naros is a lot more dangerous than Gallows End. Though Gallows End is a little different in the way it's presented. Can I get up? Am I stuck? This might be a dead end. I'm stuck! If you're gonna have stuff loop around, connect it! Fuckers! Yeah. You know it was coming. Oh, that is not what I wanted to click. Hi. Perish. I can dismantle that. Though at this point I should wait until I can actually use Dreadscale. There's something down there. I might actually stop by Idilla, or stop back up in mainland Idilla. Was it 2 Primal Champion? Just the one, okay. Hey! How did you miss? Faithless one. Dost thou require glasses? Hang on. Southern Henge, I'm already here. Eastern Henge puts me right back at the living quarters. Yeah, let's go to the Eastern Henge and then I can go from there. But Gallows End does have a few tough enemies, but it's nowhere near as bad or none of them are quite as dangerous as the Colossi, actually.
The number of rats has become greatly diminished. I see your hand in this. If ever you meet doubters of your divinity, tell them of what you have accomplished in the sewers. Please, take this amulet with my thanks. You are now an honorary sewer mason. A great accomplishment indeed.
I think that guy just permanently allowed... Because I completed the quest, it said. I think. Yeah. I'm just not going to turn that in until I'm ready to leave.
Be careful.
Alright. Collect martyr totems, colossi artifacts, and okay. I don't have any colossi artifacts, I don't think.
Well done, Beckoned. The stowaway is no more. Please take this as a token of Well done, Beckoned. Well done, Beckoned. Greetings, Beckoned.
I can't remember how many contracts you have, but I do know that the idyllic contract board is the only one that refreshes. I might be down to the last two in here. Empty the cisterns. I actually might have to go to Sikandra. Because it looks like the cisterns and the faucets are both by are both past where Sikandra is. Hello, spider. Die, spider. Okay. And then I need to go the exact opposite direction. Because up here is just sending me to turn stuff in. Down we go. No Alpha Pteryx yet, thankfully. Alpha Pteryx are very good at closing the distance. At least these ones I can sort of push away. How did you live?
Come. If Anakatos wishes us to retrieve this circlet, we will do it quickly. I wish to be done with this. Be cautious in these lands.
I can probably assassinate one of you. Ooh, you're standing side by side. Uh-oh. Secondra, where are you? I took out pretty much 2 of them on my own, Secondra. What exactly do you think you were doing?
Keep close. There are worse things that come. Be cautious in these lands.
Alright. Yeah, the leaky faucets and... Okay, that leads around and there's a door. Good to know, good to know.
There. That is the artifact you see. The circlet of Arcades. By taking it, Arcades' grave becomes an empty tomb. Let us depart. Anakatos has had his fun with me, and there is nothing left to plunder. They are colossi who succumb to the burden of this wilderness, letting it transform them into mindless brutes. They have the strength of our strongest, with none of the wisdom. It is nothing I can share with you, Beckoned. It is not worth your time. I always thought that were I to come to Arceus' crypt, it would be because of the work of gods alone. And here I am, by the will of none but Anakatos, flesh and blood. I cannot! I will not! Even after all these years, he has not forgotten his brand of viciousness. He knows I must obey his command. I apologize for my outbursts. However, it can be hard to let convictions go. But we must. We must. Take the circlet back to Anakatos. He is most likely waiting for you. Farewell.
Secondra idolized Arceus. So for Anakatos to order her to come down here and rob his grave, that hurt. That's essentially a betrayal on a personal level for him to request that of her. And yet she has to. Okay, you are the biggest threat. I cannot risk you lot following me when I'm going to go take out sprites. Like, it's... Oh. That's probably not better than what I've got. Oh yeah, definitely not. Collect this. I should save. Oh, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to sneak up on that. Oh dear. Hi. 2 primals, huh? Oh, and one of them came to me! How sweet! Okay. With the sprites gone, I'll probably never have to come back down here. There's no point in increasing my health. Not, temporarily. Better to do that with equipment. I can try to craft something with those. Hi, where did... Your placement is quite random. Alright, what are you? A ladder? Leading to... Okay then, we've got some exploring to do. I don't think I ever actually talked to whoever this strange man was. Oh dear. Why are there so many rats? I have the wrong thing! Oh boy! Hey, caramba! 3 years of Spanish, and I only remember like 3 phrases. I get the feeling that the Pteryx are going to be a problem. I'm definitely talking to this strange man because I never found him before. You're alone. You do not want to be alone against someone who specializes in stun locking. Might I ask why? Oh boy. There we go. I can dismantle those later. Those are not better than what I have. Alright, save and then go see what this strange man's deal is about. Who are you? Why are you in Idylla? What? Is that an that looks like an Almain. What?
Hold! Hold! What are you? You are... Oh, not! You're my size! My size! This can't be. Ah, I knew I shouldn't have eaten that lichen earlier. Cave slime never agrees with me.
What?
Living giants. They stay away from me. And it's for the best. Can't let them know I'm here.
I want to know how you got here.
I hold dominion over all you see here. I left my devices to rule as I see fit. I may seem harsh.
Pardon?
My subjects will tell you I am fair. I've lived in these tunnels for years. There are plenty of hazards, but they only pose problems for strangers.
I've never found this guy. Who the fuck is he?
What? You mean you walk these halls and know nothing of their lord and holder? I am the king of this undersewer, protector of this whole expanse.
Okay, so I was correct about him being an Almain.
Divine providence. Once I wandered the lands below, living in caverns, in a base attempt for subsistence. But then the earth was left below me, and I was raised into a city in the sky. Your mistake. If that's supposed to be groveling, then you need to brush up on your etiquette. But I suppose I can allow such insolence to be humored for this one time. I haven't had much in the way of company out here. Oh, you're welcome to some of the cave slime, if you're hungry. There's plenty for everyone. We are finished. Back again, I see. It seems that Jeff has run away with all the scones again. I'll wager we'll have nothing but crumbs to sup on when he returns. The rascally imp is the closest thing one can find to a footman in these wilds.
Okay.
Of course, he's just as right to rob me as serve me. I'd wager he thinks he has the best of me. But I'm no fool. Press him back into my service, will you?
Okay, this is a hidden quest. I actually never knew about this.
Seems my footman, Jeff, has scurried off without permission and taken up quarters elsewhere in the sewers. He should be made to see the error in his judgment, but I will not presume to ask for help in this. Quite right you will. Jeff's around here somewhere. The little scamp has no stomach for the realms upstairs. Just give him this. It's a charter of fealty he signed the day he joined my service. But if you do so, do it on your own time. I make no pretensions at ordering you around. Speak to me about Jeff when you've dealt with him. We are finished.
Okay, then. So there's 3 cisterns here. Like, is this actually a quest, or is this just something? Either way, I'm intrigued, because I've never found this. That... Okay. I have no use for chassies. Jeff would be somewhere in the sewers. I have no idea where he would be, though. Hi. Spawning on top of me is the last mistake you'll ever make. I'm gonna have to go all the way back around. A shame. Save. Oh, I should also go sell stuff. I have to wonder if the strange man existed beforehand, or if he was added. Ah. That's dumb. How did you not? Nice try. Oh. Inclines can be your worst enemy here. You have a Marauder token. Or totem, not token. Why did I say token? I'm going to assume that Jeff is somewhere over here. I could be completely mistaken. But if the strange man himself was hidden behind a fake wall, Jeff might also be hidden behind a fake wall. Of course, I could be completely mistaken. I don't even think this is a quest. Yeah, no. This is just something random. This is a book you can read, but don't take my word for it. Okay. I mean, Jeff might not even exist. I'm assuming Jeff would be a kobold, but I could be wrong. Don't ask me why I assume Jeff would be a kobold. Well, actually, what else could Jeff be, really? Because he keeps calling it a scamp, and scamps don't exist in this game. Or he keeps calling him a scamp, and scamps don't exist in this game. I mean, Jeff could be a sprite, but I doubt it. Ah! Let me down! Okay. 1, 2, 3. Apparently I could have come from that way. Alrighty then. We might be able to see Jeff on the map. If not... I might look this one up because I'm so very confused and so very intrigued. I don't think I've ever talked to that guy before. Or even noticed that he existed on the map. The Colossi clearly don't know he's here. I think they would have put him in a cage or something. Let's see here. Agile citizens. Elpis. Dilios. Sprite. Idle citizen. Okay, so there's 2 spots. There's this path and up there. I think I'm gonna go left and see what's what. For all I know, I could have already taken Jeff out. Jeff could have been the stowaway troll. Oh dear. I'm just gonna let the sprite do its thing. Pteryxes. I should actually take these sprites out. Hi. I'm just gonna point out right now that I don't intend to follow up on every hidden quest objective I might run across. This one just intrigues me because I've never encountered it before. Like, if it doesn't show up in the quest log, I'm not going to count it as a quest. Oh dear. But... can I jump from here? No, that's an upper thing. So, marauders... giant spiders and venom spitters. Which means that in all likelihood, none of them are Jeff. Jeff can't be one of the Colossi because I think the strange man would have specified that. Yeah, I probably should have come here earlier, actually. Because some of the Teeth of Naros specific loot is proving to be, uninspired. Let's go see what that guy has to say. If I haven't found Jeff, then I'm just not going to worry about it. But if I have found Jeff, I'd like to see what it is he has to say for that. I have a sneaking suspicion that Jeff might have been the stowaway troll. Or one of the sprites. I highly doubt Jeff would have been a Pteryx, though it would also make sense in some strange way. I just can't fathom naming a Pteryx Jeff, really. Although, considering how off his rocker that guy is, I really shouldn't count it out. Or count out the possibility. Left. We keep going left. Wait, what? Okay, so Jeff is back. Are you over here, Jeff? Okay, so Jeff actually was really close. A brownie? I never would have guessed that. Brownies can be domesticated, so I guess I should have seen it coming, but I don't recall seeing any other brownies in the Teeth of Naros.
Well, persistent little gnat, aren't you? I haven't had this many run-ins with another since Renival absconded with my archives. Well, good to know Jeff got the message. Thank you for your help. Renival is a damned usurper, And I don't care what you've heard about him. This latest theft is just another attempt to discredit my rule. But this is too far. The key to my archives is the lowest blow. Only the key to my archives. Only the means to access the greatest treasures in my realm. Without them, my most precious of heirlooms are forever locked in a wooden hell.
Can't you just break it?
What? Is rampant self-satisfaction? Whatever you wish. I am not inclined to ask for any favors. If this is your wish, then pursue it by your own will, not mine. That said,
I want to know this guy's real name.
In the darkest corners of my domain. Scampering coward. I'll wager you'd make short work of him. We...
Okay.
are finished. Yeah.
So stuff just appears. I get the feeling he's going to backstab me at some point. But I'm still curious enough to see this through at least a little bit. What is Renival? I want to say probably a sprite? A rat. I suppose that makes sense. I'd still like to know how you got a brownie in here. I need to keep going. What is this? That looks like a switch. Why does that look like a switch? Upsy daisy. And then we jump down again.
Well, I can say that I'm happy to have a bit of entertainment after all. Jeff can be such a bore.
Don't insult Jeff.
I don't suppose you have anything to read, do you? A good, honest tome? You have it then? Renival has finally been brought to pay for his crimes? I thought I would toast this day, but it only tastes bitter. Have you ever had an enemy that was as close a friend?
Renival was a rat.
He and I,
literally.
brothers, but no more. Such is folly.
What is this guy?
Not just any old tome. I seek something from a far-off land. Something hilarious. Or different. Something foreign. I've no interest in the tomes of these giants. Yes, I'm aware that you've likely found some drivel written by we.
Okay. Huh. I'm gonna have to come back here then.
Finished.
Or maybe not, maybe not, maybe not. If I can find... Nah, I'm just gonna have to remember to come back here with a book. Because this doesn't have a quest marker. So it's not like I'd, It might just be an endless set of errands until he turns on me or something. I could be wrong, though. However, I sincerely doubt it. When an individual is that desperate for companionship, if they're ever of the mind that someone is going to leave or betray them, things can get real messy real quick. It shouldn't be that hard to find a book, honestly. I can probably just head right back to Canarok. And I should definitely do this before I forget. Well, I should definitely do this, like, relatively now-ish. Because I will forget otherwise. Because goldfish brain is real. If I make a right... I might even be able to find a book in here. Oh, what a... Why did I not junk that? The Colossi won't naturally have anything... foreign, quote-unquote. But there might be something in the chests. No. Okay. So we're going up here. Selling some stuff and then going to Canarok because I believe I sold a book to the Canarok lady. And even if I didn't, it won't be that hard to get a book from Canarok. I guess I could also go to Gorehart. I think I just get money for turning this stuff in.
Well done, Beckoned. The Masons tell me that... Well done, Beckoned.
All contracts have been taken. Okay.
Blessings to you. Everything. Welcome to the Idylla Mind the city's edges.
$18 for the primal disc. How the actual... Okay. I should go make some utility gems, because chakrams actually can't make use of weapon gems. I don't know why. 20% mana, damage during daytime, mana reap, damage at night. And then if I go... That will be helpful later in the... Actually, really helpful later in the game. Leave.
I shall endeavor to fix...
Since I'm right here anyway. Head to Canrock, because I know I can get a book relatively quickly there. And then head back before I forget that that guy exists. Because my interest may be piqued at this particular moment in time, however, that does not mean that I will remember him next week if I don't write it down, and remember to bring my notes up here. That requires 2 things of remembering. Little ashamed of myself, actually. I usually save books, but I don't have anything in my stash. The Vaughners might have a book. If possible, I'd like to acquire a book without paying for it. Actually, I've never been in here. There's a book in almost every house, I believe. I probably shouldn't give it, or give this guy that. Of course, the person is probably dead. Stolen book should still be book. Right? I understand why it wouldn't allow me to give him part of Till's collection. But let's hope that stolen is not something it will just completely disallow. I think it was living quarters that was closest. That's the theater. I can't do anything with the theater yet. So down here we go. Or wait, I can actually just enter the sewers from here. Never mind, living quarters is genuinely faster. Somehow. I don't know why. They're literally right next... The 2 entrances are practically right next to each other, so why does... Whatever. It makes no sense to me, but whatever. Left and down. Okay. Important thing to note, once I actually finish the next part of the Teeth of Naros main quest line, any side quests I want to complete, I should complete before then. Because the Teeth of Naros main quest line is actually pretty short. And because of how short it is, well, it also locks me out of some stuff. Speeding through it does not take long. However, if I want to complete certain things, I should do so. It's not a permanent lockout, but some quests require me to have items on hand, which is just annoying. Here's hoping this guy doesn't send me on another errand back to Thurs. Can't guarantee anything, though. I should have kept that Aod book. If I hadn't remembered to sell that, I would have had a book on hand for this case. Back over here. Hi.
I have to say, on some days, even my wondrous hall, not just any old tome. I've no interest in the tome. Be gone!
Okay, so the Canrock Journal does not count. Whatever. I'm not gonna remember to come back here, and I don't care enough. Unless you have a specific book in here? No. I'm not gonna write this down. If I remember, well, I might not write this down. If I remember to, I might look up what you give later. But I do need to head back over this way. But once I enter the Hyperion Temple for the main quest, I should consider myself essentially locked in. So any quest I want to complete beforehand, I should. Although there's a couple that I have to wait on and one that I might choose to wait on. Reason that I might choose to wait on that one is because it involves something that happens later. Like, granted, the guy never actually moves, but his side quest does theoretically involve a later choice. One of those suspension of disbelief moments, I suppose. And there's a few quests in Idylla that unfortunately don't show up until much later. Which I do sort of understand. But at the same time, I kind of just wanted to be one and done with the quests in Idylla. Oh well. Off to Anakatos.
I almost did not see.
I might actually call it early. Just because I've got a lot of objectives I'm going to be tackling essentially back to back, and I kind of don't want to lose my momentum. If that makes any sense at all.
You bear the circlet of Arcase. Then the wreath is almost complete. The foundation is gold with runes of prayer, as I said. Now, it must be woven with blood and toil. The colossi furnish the foundation and nature furnishes the trappings. The laurels of the wreath are not crafted, but earned. We seek Pteryx veins. Once they are ours, once the wreath is complete, the ritual of atonement can begin. I take it you have encountered a Pteryx before. The mongrel carrion-eating scavengers that plague us. They are a common foe. Seek the veins of the Alpha Pteryx. They are fierce and proud, all that is wild and savage in nature. To prove to the gods the righteousness of our faith, then we must conquer a mighty foe. They will serve. They are vicious beasts, wild and strong. The Alphas, our quarry, are particularly fierce. We must act.
I'm probably going to pick up a couple quests, like actually walk and pick up a couple quests on the way. And then, well, actually no, one quest. I'll be continuing the Galatea one. I'm not going to bother turning in any of the Marauder stuff for now, simply because it's going to come into play later. Or, well, simply because I'm going to be obtaining more later, which means I'd have to make multiple trips.
Among us, and the citizens are awed. This act seems small to you, Beckoned.
Alright, so I'm actually going to walk to the Pteryx Iris. Like, I could fast travel to Naratalos, but I'd like to save the fast traveling for later. So I'll be kind of going like this, and I'll likely be making a second circle once I get Berenike's quest. I'm going to avoid Histus for now because his quest has to do with the Jotun, and I'm technically... Spoiler, I'm technically not done with the Jotun yet. But because I intend to tackle things in a very boom, 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 quick succession order, I'm going to call it here so I don't wind up losing my momentum later. If you're interested in anything I've done up until this point, please check out my YouTube channel. I try to upload stuff same day, and I group my runs by playlist so they're easier to find. More on YouTube later, so stay tuned for that. If you're interested in chatting off stream or seeing my announcements, please check out my Discord server. Do note, however, that the server is private, so unless you get a role, which you can get by interacting with Carlbots, you won't be able to see much, and if you don't have a role by Saturday, I will be kicking you off the server. If you would like to see my clips in an easier fashion, I do also have a TikTok, and the links to all of that are in the chat now, though please stay tuned. I have more to say on YouTube specifically. However, that will wait until I flesh out the rest of the week. So, tomorrow I'll be starting a game called Kenna Bridge of Spirits. I've never played it before. I don't know much about it. But it looked cute, and I've heard it's good. One of the things I have heard about it is that it is a good game, so... very curious about that. Thursday, I'll be starting The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I do actually know more about The Witcher 3 than I do Kenna. That's one of those games that it was like impossible to avoid spoilers for a while. I have tried to stay mostly blind, but I did get a little spoiled regarding the ending, or something that can happen during the ending if you decide to be a shitty parent. Yeah. And then Monday, I'll be back to this game, and like I said, I'll be making some circuits of the Teeth of Naros to finish up some side quests. And to handle Anakatos' segment here. Once I enter Hyperion Temple, I will essentially be locked into the main quest, so that's honestly the reason I wanted to go around the Teeth of Naros the first time when I first got here. Something happens during the main quest that makes it a lot more convenient if you already have these locations unlocked. It's just so much easier to fast travel and run straight to places in order to avoid the penalty that the main quest of this place inflicts upon you. So, YouTube. As I've said before, well, as I said yesterday, YouTube's new stance on censorship is not something I agree with. So I am looking into alternatives. Yesterday we had an entire list. However, I've cut out most of that list. Some of them were only available in app form, and I know that there are people who prefer to watch stuff on computer. Or in the browser. So those were immediately out. There were some that were more geared towards people who actually do coding themselves, which is fine. However, most people are not going to be interested in that sort of thing, so those were out. Some looked like they might be paywalled, so those were out, because that is kind of what YouTube's doing right now as well. And some I just had major issues getting to function. I believe I mentioned this earlier, but one of the ones I tried to make an account for, and I legitimately got stuck in the account making process. I tried to visit the site again after closing everything down, and I'm still stuck in the account making process. I can't proceed, I can't go backwards, I can't delete my progress. I just, like, if that's server error, that is a major server error. So I just said, nope, we're not doing this. So that one has also been deleted. Well, that one has also been deleted from the list. So of the ones that I'm looking into, what remains are Odyssey and Piped. Odyssey actually looks really promising. It's already got a bunch of people on there. It doesn't have as much content as YouTube, but that's honestly to be expected considering it's a lot smaller than YouTube at the moment, and that can be very easily changed by just, uploading. And the other one I'm looking into is called Piped. However, I was having trouble getting Piped to load at all. It didn't load for me at all yesterday. I'm gonna give it a couple days, but if it doesn't load properly for me by tomorrow, or actually no, by Thursday, then I'm going to take it off the list. But Odyssey in particular, you should definitely check out. It has a browser you can watch it in the browser. You can watch it on an app. There is an Odyssey app. I haven't tried uploading anything to it yet, but I'm going to probably either today or tomorrow start seeing if I can't copy not every single one of my videos, but my VODs at the very least, over to Odyssey, because that's going to take me several days. I have like 200 VODs on YouTube or something like that. It's kind of crazy. So I'll actually have more information on how easy it is from the creator perspective in the upcoming days. As for navigating Odyssey, it's a little trickier than YouTube, but that's honestly only because I'm used to YouTube. Once I get more used to navigating Odyssey, it's probably going to be very simple. And it is actually kind of similar to similar to YouTube as far as navigation goes. My only gripe with the app specifically is that you have to, if you're watching something on the phone and you want to be able to see what's going on in what you're watching and do something else, like, say, read AO3, you have to actually have the app and the browser that you're doing that other thing on in separate windows. It is possible with the phone that you just have your screen split, like 60-40 or something like that. But that is something to keep in mind. However, for right now, that is quite literally my only issue with the Odyssey app. So definitely check out Odyssey if you're interested in any form of YouTube alternatives. If you've made it this far and are curious to see where I go from here, why not drop a follow? It takes but one button press, and you can always change your mind if you decide my content isn't for you. One moment, please, while I see if there's anyone on that I should be raiding. Let's go say hi to 1010 Carty. She's playing Sekiro, and it looks like she's currently on the Genichiro fight. She does have in-game bans enabled, so let's go mess with her. That said, happy time zones, everyone.